All right, welcome to Mind Body Chair Yoga, the last class of the year. This is going to be a little bit different class today. Lots of relaxation, lots of flow, just to kind of set the tone for the holidays. And if you need, this kind of a practice at all during the holidays, you can come to this class. So if you want a blanket to cover yourself with, and you'll need 2 blocks. Otherwise, you'll just need your chair and your mat. And I'll meet you on the mat lying down. So if you want to take a little blanket under your head, just as long as your head isn't lifted too high, or if you want to cover yourself with a blanket, that is also an option. So finding that comfortable place on the floor. You can cover yourself with a blanket if you want to. We'll be lying here for a little bit. And I'll invite you just to bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And if you're listening to some light, gentle music, this might be a time when you can just allow your attention to drift along with the music. Checking in with the breath and the body. And giving yourself the present of presence. Being present in this moment. Allowing the breath to flow right through you. Clearing out any kind of sticky feelings or just things that might need clearing, little cobwebs. And allowing yourself to settle into the floor. Just observing the breath without changing anything about the breath. Softening the face. Softening the belly. Yawning and sighing. And then I'll invite you just to shift both hands to your belly. And directing your breath down into your belly. Expanding the belly like a balloon. And exhaling. Just allowing it to deflate. Expanding. And deflating. So manipulating the breath gently. Taking in a deeper breath to fill in all the way at the base of the lungs. And then to push it all out. Engaging the belly slightly to push it out. Slow and steady. Soothing the nervous system. And allowing yourself to rest and be present. Taking a moment perhaps to set an intention for this practice. The intention of presence perhaps. An intention for self-care. And an intention just to invite ease into the body and the mind. Letting go of all the busyness, the lists, the things you have to remember, the things you have to do, and just allow yourself to be. And we'll start off with some gentle movements. So if you are covered with the blanket, you might want to just move the blanket over. We'll take both arms at your side. And let's inhale the right arm up and over your head. Reach the right arm up energetically over your head. It can touch the ground. And then energetically through the left heel, push through the heel in the opposite direction. I'm just going to move that. Doesn't feel quite right. So opposite limbs extending or reaching fingertips and pressing through the left heel. And then exhale, release that effort. Inhale your arm up and over. Release. And then we'll take your left hand. Inhale, reach that arm up and over your head. And we'll repeat on the other side. So reaching through the left fingertips as you push through the heel on the right side. Really actively feeling that stretch, that diagonal stretch across the body in the opposite direction. And then release. You'll inhale your arm back up and over and onto your side. We'll bend one knee and then the other, taking your feet about hip distance apart. And we're just going to rock our pelvis here. So that tucking and lifting of the tailbone, which creates some movement in the low back. So gently stretching out the low back as you tuck. And then as you lift the tailbone, the back rises. So just alternating between imprinting the low back down and then lifting it up, just letting the pelvis be nice and easy, rocking. And just taking care of low back. Good. Let's just hug in one knee and then we'll hug in the other. Stretch out the face perhaps and just rock a little from side to side. And we'll continue this low back care, massaging into the left side and the right side as you rock from left to right as best you can. And if you've done one leg, then you can move to the other leg. If you're doing both legs, it's totally fine. One way isn't better than the other. Just finding a way to sense into that low back on the left and the right side. And then we'll just drop the knees down as wide as your mat and take your arms out to the side. And we're just going to windshield wiper the legs, the knees down and up. And your arms can be in the shape of surrender. And just letting the heart be open. The breath freely moving through the chest. Big breath in. Big breath out. Great. Bring the legs together so that the legs are touching with bent knees, and we'll bring the arms down at your sides again. We're going to lift up the hips slightly. So just shift the hips over to the left. just a little bit, maybe a hand's width. Hug both knees in, arms out to the side, and then just drop the knees to the right. We're coming into a twist. So if for any reason, if this isn't comfortable, it's a little too deep too soon, widen the legs and separate the knees. If it's fine, just keeping the legs where they are. Lift your right shoulder up a little bit, draw that left shoulder down, just coming into a twist, and we'll just bring arms into cactus arms. Just another opportunity here. We're going to breathe deeply into the left rib cage and release. Breathe in, release, and again, release. Now we're going to extend our left arm out to the side and turn the palm down. Gaze over to the right, so the same direction as the shoulders. Turning the nose towards your right elbow. And continue turning the torso a little more to the right as you keep your hand down. So maybe even fingertips engaged. And so our body, we're lying on our side, but our arm is out to the left, and hopefully feeling that stretch through the pectorals, through the front of the arm, and just kind of on the tips of your fingers, reaching the arm away from the shoulder as you draw your nose closer to the floor. A little stretch maybe at the neck, and then you can explore just moving the arm up and down. Just exploring your range of motion here, palm down. Then you could try it with your palm up. It's really getting a nice big stretch through the shoulder. Then we're going to release and unwind, coming back over onto your side. And we'll realign the spine. Arms at your sides. Knees bent, lift the hips up, shift them over a little bit over to the right this time. Arms out to the side like a T, hug the knees in and drop them over to the left. Bring your hands or arms like into that cactus shape, and just see about lifting your left shoulder up a little bit and drawing your right shoulder down a little bit. Breathing big breaths into the right rib cage. Breathing in and out. Head could be gently turned to the right. Breathing in and out. Modifying as you need to. Breathing in and out. Now we're going to take your head and look to the left and reach your right arm behind you as you turn your torso to the left. So your arm is just reached behind you, maybe on the tips of your fingers, maybe touching the floor or maybe not. And we'll just kind of make a half circle with the arm, or kind of reach the arm away. Find a way to get a nice little chest and pectoral stretch, top of the shoulders. A little different. And then we're going to draw your nose down a little bit just to get that stretch through the neck. And then nice and easy, we're going to unwind and come back onto the back. Realign the spine. Hug both knees in. Okay. Release your left leg and hug your right knee into the chest. Push your left heel away. Hug your right knee into your chest. Gently release. Bending the left leg. Take your right ankle over the knee. Getting ready for pigeon or figure four. So we're gently drawing the knee away from the face. And see if you can imprint your low back down slightly into the floor, just like we were doing before, rocking the pelvis forward as you lift your left leg And gently drop the shin in toward the chest. And being really gentle and easy with the body here. It's particularly good stretch if you know you're going on a long drive. Coming into this before or after. Now let's extend that left leg up to the sky as best you can and then drop it down. So we're just kind of straightening and bending the knee as best you can. Just a few times. And then we'll take that shin to parallel to the floor and kind of point the toe gently. Now, imprint that low back down and kind of get you loose with your hands because you're going to dip that toe down and lift it back up. Dip it down and lift it up. Just like we do with our toe taps, but we're in pigeon. So this is why we need to engage the core a little bit by drawing your navel down, imprinting the low back down into the floor. So we're flossing our piriformis right now. It's just really important. Okay, we're going to bring it in and then extends that left leg down, moving your right knee still bent out to the side, coming into tree legs. Now, just take your hands to your pelvis, your hips. If there's a lot of tension in your adductors or anywhere in the hip, you can take your block and place it under the knee just for support. But we're going to breathe in and out of this right hip where the ball of the femur connects to your pelvis. Kind of have to use your imagination to draw this breath into this leg joint to encourage letting go and release. Staying present and connected with the breath. So take your hand to the right leg, guide it back up, give it one final squeeze as you push your left heel away. See if you notice any difference. And now we're going to switch sides. So hug your left knee into the chest and push your right heel away. Rock a little bit here. So pushing the right heel away and hugging that left knee into the chest. Breathing in and out. And then we're going to bend that right knee, take your left ankle over the knee and just gently draw it away from the face. Rock the pelvis, so you're going to tilt the pelvis forward so that low back connects to the floor. Lift your right foot up as the shin comes in, noticing that stretch, probably in the left hip, grabbing onto the outside of the legs, under the knee, on top of the knee, whatever feels best for you. Just easing into this stretch as best you can. And then when you're ready, just to give the hamstring a little stretch here, we're going to press the heel up and then draw it back down. Press your right leg up to the sky and bring it down just as much as you can. Letting go of any expectation of what it's supposed to look like or, and just allowing it to be as it is. Now take the shin to parallel, point the toe and really press down into the belly. And we're going to dip that toe down and lift it back up. Just dip your water, but it's a little cool, so we're going to take it back up. Just a few times, back and forth. Let's check out how it feels. And then we'll lift it back up, maybe give it one more little hug there. And then we'll extend the left leg down, the right leg down, and your left knee comes out to the side like a tree. And if you need to take the block to support, Remember, that's just about taking care of yourself, It's not about going beyond your limits, it's just exploring. Now, taking the hands down to that hip joint and breathing into the hip joint, allowing for release. It is said, at least in yoga, I don't know in any other mind-body practices, that our body tends to hold emotions in our hips. And so sometimes when we do a lot of hip work, you can become weepy, and you don't really know why, but it is sometimes emotions can get a little bit stuck here in our hips. So we're just taking care of the hips. And if you notice something like a sensation that surprises you, just allow it to flow through and out of the body, knowing that this is a release of something stored there. Breathing in and out. And then we're going to take that left hand and help the leg back up. Squeeze it in. Push that right heel away. See if you notice any difference. Then take both knees in. Give yourself a nice little squeeze and rock from side to side. Feet up, knees out, happy baby. Coming at the hips from a different angle, right at the inner connection. So finding what works for you here, maybe movement, maybe resistance, maybe stillness, maybe extending legs. And then nice and easy, bringing the soles of the feet together, knees away from the face. Again, feet don't have to touch, just exploring that stretch of the hips, in particular the inner leg. And now we're going to release the feet down again, knees bent. And here, this is why we might need 2 blocks. I'm going to invite you to come into our butterfly pose. So we've already opened up the left side and the right side individually, but when we open up both knees at the same time, sometimes, it can be a little surprising that it feels much more challenging. So giving yourself the support that you need with the blocks. And here, if you can get the soles of the feet to touch, that would be great. And we'll just take one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Breathe into the leg joint. Breathing in kindness. Breathing out compassion. Allowing for increments, micro movement here of perhaps letting go, perhaps releasing, being open to the possibility. And then we'll take our hands back to the legs and we'll just lift the legs together so that we don't strain the inside of the legs. Move the blocks out of the way. And our final floor movement here, legs up, arms up, and we're just going to circle our wrists and the ankles in one direction, maybe some movement at the face, scrunch it up, spread it out, change direction. Squeeze and spread the toes, open and close the hands. And then we'll make a little gentle fist with the hands and we'll nod the wrists as we point and flex at the ankles. And then left to right. Good. Just let those feet come down. Actually, I like one more on the floor. We're going to reach, reach, reach like a star. Inhale in 4 and maybe 5 if you include the head directions. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Keep stretching, then exhale. Fold up like a little ball. Inhale. Reach out like a star. Exhale. Curl up into a ball. Inhale. Reach. Exhale. Curl up into a ball. And then we're just going to release. Take a moment and in your own time, rolling over to one side. And then gently coming up to sitting. And then making your way to standing. I've generated some heat in the body. So I'm going to ditch the sweater. And the chair is just here if you need it. We'll just come to mountain pose. Roll at the shoulders and rock on the feet. Stretch out the face. We'll rock a little roll. Nice and easy. Shake out the arms a little. Coming up, standing at mountain. Moving down into the floor, rising up. We'll bring our hands behind our back, just grabbing onto the forearms or the elbows, whatever feels most comfortable. Lift the navel, inhale. Exhale, just drop your chin down toward the chest. Let the head be heavy. And then we'll take the head a little to the left, a little to the right. And you can ease up on your grip of the forearms if you're finding that's too restrictive. Or you can just explore what that's like. Kind of creates a little stretch in 2 directions. Coming back to center, we'll lift the chin. Exhale, gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale, back to center, gaze over the right shoulder. We'll do that again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, back to center. Big breath in. Left ear to left shoulder. Up. Right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, back up. Just do that again. And again. Inhale. Back to center. Exhale, release, roll it out. Come to the chair and turn the chair so that we are in tabletop shape. We'll come into our cat-cow. So bringing attention to the pelvis, we'll lift that tailbone up, lift the heart. Feel that stretch in the back of the leg. Inhale. Exhale, round the back. Press into your chair. Tuck the chin, tuck the tail. Shoulder blades draw away from each other. And repeat. Inhaling, cow pose. Exhaling, cat pose. Repeating that. Coming back to that tabletop. We're just going to kind of wag your tail like a dog wagging its tail in slow motion. Movement coming from the hips, so really drawing one hip back and then the other. More hip work. And then like you are playing with a hula hoop. You're gonna kind of circle your butt in one direction. And then like a hula hoop in the other direction, which might feel weird, right? Because we have a dominant side and one side will seem easy and the other side might feel awkward. I'm just knowing that. Great, coming back to center. We're gonna just do a really flowy thread the needle. So inhale that left arm up, turn your heart to the left, exhale, swoop your arm to the other side, and just kind of get dramatic about it, connecting breath with movement, just be really flowy, and you can explore different angles and just kind of give yourself permission to explore, like to heal. And we'll come back and replace the hand and over to the other side. Blowing, scooping the arm, reaching. Just seeing how you can engage the side body and the hip into this gentle little upper body twist. Lots of freedom of movement here. We'll come back to that tabletop, bend the knees, float your arms up to the sky. Exhale, trace those angel wings back behind you. Roll up the shoulders. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. Coming back to tabletop, we're going to do a forward fold. We'll come into our sun salutation. So sway at the shoulders first. And then pedal the knees, pedal the hips. Inhale, right foot comes forward, float your arms up, really big breath in. Slow, steady exhalation, coming back down and stepping back. Inhale, left foot. Exhaling. Repeating on each side, inhaling right side. Being a little extra dramatic with the breath. Deep breaths in, slow and steady. Slow breaths out. Release. Right side. Inhale, stepping forward. Take your left foot out to the side. We're going to float our arms up into our warrior one. Squeeze the thighs, lift the navel, lift the arches of the feet. So palms facing forward. We're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale. Just bring the arms down in front of you. Turn the palms up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Taken from Tai Chi. This calming, steady breath. This next exhalation will bring the hands all the way down to the chair. Turn that back foot forward, coming into our pyramid pose. And here I'm going to invite you to bend the knees like we do when we're in our forward fold. You know, when we have to pedal our knees back and forth. And pedal the pelvis back and forth, but with the legs extended. So it might take a little bit for it to make sense. In the beginning, it might be like, this is different, it's weird, I don't like it. But give it a chance. All right, you're gonna step that foot back, exhale. Inhale, left foot forward. Right foot comes out to the side. We'll float our arms up into our warrior one. Squeeze the thighs, press into that back heel, turn the palms forward. Inhale, exhale. Hands come down, turn the palms up, inhale. So this requires a lot of steadiness in our foundation. So just check. Arches of the feet are lifted, squeezing the thighs together, pressing into that back heel. Back of the leg is engaged. And we're going to exhale, bring the hands down to the chair. Turn that back foot forward. And we're going to do the weird thing. Bend and straighten the knees. Pedal the hips in this weird shape. And just see, explore what you notice. So for me, I get this great stretch on the outer hip and on this inner hip of the leg that's forward, more than how I usually would. You might notice it somewhere else. Okay, we're going to step back. And inhale, walk the feet, bend the knees, float your arms up to the sky. Now let's take the hands at the heart center. Breathing in and out. And release. Taking our chair now, just in case you need it, turning it like this, and we're going to set up for warrior 2. So taking your left foot forward, right foot back. One is pointed one direction, one is pointed the other, and we're heel to arch alignment. We're going to take that knee over the ankle and maybe explore widening the stance a little bit. Take our arms up and out, gazing over fingertips. Now let's check in with our foundation with the arches of the feet. And lift the kneecaps, lift the navel. Good. Now we're going to get a little flowy. Turn the palms forward. All right. We're going to inhale, reach the arms to touch. Exhale as if you're drawing back and bow and arrow. In. Exhale. And again. Deepening the breath. Let's do one more here. We'll take this back hand onto the thigh, turn the opposite hand up, reaching back into exalted warrior. Let's breathe really into the chest here. In and out. And if it feels good, you want to straighten that front leg and lean back a little more, go for it. Otherwise, stay where you are. Inhale, back up to warrior. And take your hand to the back of the chair. This back foot, we're going to pivot onto the ball of the foot. And it's pretty wide, so if you need to like kind of hop that back foot forward, then, find what works for you. But I would like you to explore really pressing back through the heels so that when we rise up and press back, we really feel a stretch in the back of the leg, but also our hip flexors. So kind of standing tall here. So we get that stretch front of the leg and at the back of the leg. And we're going to release. Take that back foot. We're just going to hop it forward. Turn the chair. That foot that was back is now going to come forward. So give yourself about arm's distance, stepping onto our chair, maybe on the other side of the chair. And we're going to sink. Rise up, sink forward. If you want to take your arm up to the sky, you can. Just gently breathing in and out. And then we're going to release. And do that on the other side. So coming into our warrior, heel to arch alignment. Into our lunge. Heart is lifted. Lift the arches of the feet, lift the kneecaps, lift the navel. And then turn the palms forward. Inhale, reach forward. See if you can bring that hand to touch the other hand. And exhale like we are releasing an arrow. Inhale. Really dramatic with the breath. Big inhale. Slow release. Nice little upper body twist here. Last one. Now let's take this hand onto the thigh and turn the other palm up. Trace that rainbow over your head. Turn the heart up towards the sky. Option to press back. If you want to, by extending the leg or keeping it where it is, that might be plenty. Breathing in and out. Then inhaling back into our warrior. Taking the hand to the back of the chair. We're going to pivot onto the ball of this back foot. So just doing that carefully so that we don't torque the knee in any way. And we're going to come into that big lunge, hopping that back foot forward if you need to, keeping the heart lifted. And we're going to kind of lift and lower the heel. Stretching out the back of the leg and our hip flexor, the front of the leg. Okay, now we're going to take that back foot and just kind of hop it forward. Turn the chair. Take that same foot that was back and step it onto the middle or the farther side. Take your hand to the hip and then one hand on the chair, and then we're gonna sink and rise. Connect breath with movement, exhaling as you sink, inhaling as you rise. And just notice your thoughts. Maybe you're a million miles away. Maybe you're right here with the breath. No judgment either way. Just acknowledging and coming to the breath once again and this movement. And then we're going to release and bring that foot down carefully. Good. Turning the chair so the back of the chair is there if you need it. You're going to take those blocks. Shoulder distance apart. And take a nice wide stance, and your toes are pointed forward. Hands on your hips. Start to bend the knees just a little bit. Now I'm really lifting up through my abdominals. Inhale, exhale, fold. So that lifting is going to help me get long in the spine as I come to a tabletop, and bring your hands down onto the blocks so that the blocks are situated directly under the shoulders. You don't want them to be out or too forward in any way. Let's just do a cat-cow here. Round the back. Arch the back. Round. And arch. Keeping the knees nice and soft and not forcing anything. Okay, coming back to a table, like a neutral back. Lift the navel towards the spine. Bring all of your weight into your left hand and reach your right arm up to the sky. Just a little twist here at the waist. Breathing into the right side body. And then inhale, come down. And exhale, inhale, left arm just opening up, turning the heart to the left, coming into another twist. Inhale, unwind. Good. Bend the knees. As you bring your hands to your hips, we'll come to stand. Good. Turn the heels in, toes out, reach your arms up. Inhale, expand. Nice goddess flow. Exhale. Lift the kneecaps. Inhale, come down. Exhale, rise up. And just a few more of those. Last one. Let's just grab onto one hand and lean over. Kind of switch your grip, lean over to the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Let go. Roll up the shoulders. Bring your toes forward. And we'll bring the feet together. So we'll move the blocks out of the way. And let's come to the chair. Sitting nice and tall, we're going to hug in the right knee. Lift the heart, shoulder blades come away from each other. Squeeze and spread the toes, stretch out the face. Circle the ankle one way. Circle it the other way. Extend your leg forward, thumbs at the hip crease, press back. Inhale, lead with the heart, long spine. So let's create some traction here. Maybe feeling it in the low back as you press your thumbs back, the crown of the head reaches forward. So we're trying to create space between the vertebrae. Stretching out the hamstring. Inhale, rise up. And just release, hug in. Opposite knee, and we'll do our little foot exercise. Squeeze and spread. Circle one way. Circle the other way. Point and flex. Stretch out the face, scrunch it up. Yawn and sigh. Extend that foot forward. Thumbs at your hip crease. Press back. Shoulder blades back. Heart is forward. Long spine. Hips draw back. Crown of the head is forward. Creating that traction once again in the spine and stretching out the opposite hamstring. Breathing in, bending this knee as much as you need to, the extended leg. Inhale, rise up. Return the leg, hands at your thighs. Grow tall, inhale. And exhale, fold over the thighs, leading with the heart. And here we can release your hands down to the floor and drop the head, if that feels comfortable, or keep your hands on your thighs. And then the other option, which I love, is grabbing onto the elbows and let your arms be like these weights, and your head is like a weight. And breathe into the low back. And you can do little movements. You can kind of rock from side to side. Nice big forward fold here. Bring your hands back to the thighs. Inhale, peel your heart forward and up. Exhale. Release. Let's just do a little cat-cow. coming to sit. And then I'm going to invite you back onto the floor so we can come stand. Move the chair out of the way. If you want to grab socks or a sweater or get your blanket ready, don't cover yourself just yet. We'll do a few stretches and then we'll cover up. You're going to come down onto the floor, stretch out the face, squeeze the knees into the chest, rock from side to side. Bring the feet down, knees are bent. Cross your right leg over the left leg and just kind of gently squeeze like eagle legs. Then arms out at your sides, getting ready as if you're about to hug somebody, and you're going to hug yourself. You're going to take your arms and wrap them around yourself with the left arm on top and really wrap your arms around to give yourself a squeeze. So now you're going to squeeze in your torso, your arms around yourself, giving yourself a big bear hug, and you're going to squeeze your thighs. We're going to breathe as you're squeezing, and let's make this like really mean something. Like give yourself a hug, like honest to goodness, a real genuine hug. Remind yourself of, you know, all the great things you've accomplished and all the times you just allowed yourself to be, all the times you did just the best you can. And now we're going to release. Just surrender. Switch sides, so cross your left leg over your right. Reach your arms out to the side, and this time your right arm comes over the left, and give yourself another big squeeze. And you're going to squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Sending yourself love, compassion, tenderness, friendliness towards yourself. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then release, just kind of come into a star. Breathing in and out. Let's have the star just twinkle a little bit by opening and closing the hands. And the toes. Stretch out the face. Great. Bring the limbs back in. Come into a final little hug. And I feel like happy baby. For me, I'm being called this, my body wants to do it. So I'll guide you through it. If there's another shape that you would like to explore in this moment, you go for it. Bring the soles of the feet together. Knees away. We'll drop the feet down. And come into the shape that makes the most sense for you to rest. So whether that's traditional shavasana or legs bent and then knees drawing in toward each other. You could come into child's pose if you want. And at this point, if you want to cover yourself with a blanket, that might feel nice. If not for the warmth, just for the weight of it on the body. And taking hand to heart and one hand to the belly. Just taking a moment to recognize that there is wisdom in this kind of slow practice. A practice that focuses on the breath. that is particularly nourishing for the nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, and for the heart. Take a moment and transfer some really friendly feelings toward yourself right through your hands and into your body. Finding a mantra that's really positive, something that resonates, to repeat a few times or as many times as you want to yourself. Allowing your breath to flow in and out of the body. No need to change anything about the breath. Allowing yourself to be still, present. Bringing tenderness to whatever might be bubbling up. And bring our hands together and rub the hands to create some heat. Bring the hands to your face. And you can just gently kind of trace your face with your hands. Maybe cupping your hands around your chin. Bringing the hands back down over the heart. And when you're ready, you will bend the knees and roll over to one side. Move the blanket over. Taking your time, just gonna gently move into the posture, either on the floor or on the chair. If you want to take that blanket and bring it over your shoulders, you can. And I'll invite you to bring your hands to heart center. And just take a moment to acknowledge an entire year's worth of yoga that we have practiced together. I'm feeling grateful for this community, this opportunity to share this practice. And we'll sealing with a unifying Om. So we inhale together. you so much for practicing with me today and for all of 2023. I'm gonna just stop the recording.